Teen Stress. I'm Abba Shrestha, and welcome back to our Beyond the Brain series, where we interview health professionals and experts about mental health in order to get a deeper insight of different aspects of stress and mental well-being. Today, I'm here with certified mental health coach Shawnti Refuge. Shawnti, can you please start off by telling me a little bit about yourself and your background?
First, thank you for having me. I appreciate you. My name is Shawnti Refuge. I am now a master certified mental health coach. I am a keynote speaker and I am an author of the best-selling book Quiet is Kept, and I'm a mental health advocate. And after experiencing a severe mental breakdown back in 2018, it led me to have a diagnosis of depression and anxiety. So I chose to heal through guided journaling instead of using antidepressants. And I have since made it my mission to help others navigate their mental health challenges through the power of journaling and self reflection. And I've created guided journals such as Get Out of Your Way and Free Yourself. And I host programs and workshops designed to support individuals in letting go of emotional baggage and reclaiming their peace.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. So,
Thank you.
as you're talking about with your personal experience with mental health, it's
Mhm.
good as you were saying. So, can you share a little bit of your journey on what led you to become a mental health coach, a speaker, and when you began all this?
Sure, no problem. Like I said, my journey started with my mental breakdown in 2018. So I was in a place where I felt stuck, overwhelmed, and unable to move forward. And the traditional methods, such as antidepressants, they didn't resonate with me because I know medication doesn't solve your problem. It just calms your issue. The effects that you're having. So those I didn't want that. So I turned to journaling, and through consistent reflection, I began uncovering deep-seated issues and processing emotions and finding clarity. Like all this stuff just started coming up when I started journaling. And this transformation inspired me to guide others on similar journeys. So I became a mental health coach to share the tools and practices that help me heal, especially in communities where mental health is often stigmatized.
So, you were talking a little bit earlier and just now about your self-care guided journals, Shanti.
Mhm.
So, and you're talking about how journaling has been an essential tool for your own healing and processing your emotions.
Mhm.
So, so effective for others, especially teens? And what are some other coping mechanisms you have aside from journaling?
Journaling allowed me to create a safe space to confront and express my emotions honestly. And it gave me control over my healing process and the freedom to let go of past hurts at my own pace. So for teens, journaling can be just as powerful because it provides a non judgmental outlet to process their emotions and thoughts. And it helps them identify patterns, reduce overwhelm, and build emotional awareness. And these are all crucial during a period when they're trying to understand themselves. I was a teenager too, so I get it. Um, Other than journaling, I also have since incorporated yoga. I love yoga, breath work, meditation. I do grounding, which is basically going outside in nature, breathing the fresh air, walking in the grass with no shoes on. Not right now because it's cold, but when the weather is right, get outside. And there was a time when I would never be outside with no shoes on, but now I go in the backyard and walk and reconnect with the earth, and that has helped me so much. All of those methods have helped me so much.
What do you believe are the most pressing mental health challenges that teens are facing today, and how can we address these issues in a more meaningful way?
I believe that the rise in anxiety, depression, and self-esteem issues among teens has just gotten out of hand, like outrageous. And I think it's because of social media comparison, what they're seeing on social media and comparing themselves to somebody else's journey or whatever the person's posting or talking about, academic pressure, and a lack of safe emotional outlets. Those often exacerbate these challenges. And so, to address them meaningfully, we need to create environments both at home and in schools where teens feel seen, heard, and supported. And offering tools like guided journaling, open conversations about mental health, and accessible resources can make a significant difference.
And teens often struggle to express their emotions. That's something that is pretty well known. How can journaling help them navigate and articulate their mental health struggles, particularly in anxiety or depression?
Journaling helps teens slow down and process their feelings in a manageable way. It removes the pressure of having to share their thoughts out loud and provides clarity through self expression. And the guided journaling, those are prompts and they can be designed for teens and it can guide them in exploring their emotions, identifying their triggers, and finding solutions to their struggles. And over time, this practice builds emotional resilience and helps them articulate what they're going through.
And as someone who advocates for emotional healing, what are the first steps that you think teens can take if they're feeling this feeling of overwhelmed by their mental health challenges?
That's a great question. The first step is acknowledging their feelings and understanding that it is okay to not be okay. And journaling can be a great place to start, even if it's just writing down what they're feeling in the moment. Reaching out to someone they trust, whether it's a parent, teacher, or a mental health professional, is also very important. And small steps like breathing exercises or reciting daily affirmations can help them regain a sense of control.
And then as we're talking about teens, something that's also important to know is the parents and educators of these teens. So, how do you think that parents and educators can better support teenagers who may not yet recognize the importance of mental health or hesitant to ask for help?
As with any adult, parents and educators should lead by example and show teens that prioritizing mental health is normal and it is necessary. So, creating open, judgment free spaces where teens can feel safe to express themselves is key. Providing resources like guided journals, encouraging creative outlets, and promoting mental health discussions can also make it easier for teens to recognize the value of emotional well being.
In your experience, what role do you think social media plays in shaping the mental health of today's teens? Can it be both positive and negative effects, or one more than the other?
Social media is a double edged sword. So, on one hand, it can foster connection, provide inspiration, and raise awareness about mental health because that's what I do. But on the other hand, it can amplify comparison, cyberbullying, and unrealistic expectations. So, encouraging teens to curate their feeds with positive content and practice digital boundaries like limiting screen time can help mitigate the negative effects.
Yeah, I totally agree because that's something that's really hard to say if it's like negative and positive because it is like a double-edged sword because connections like this interview wouldn't be able to be done without social media, yet there's
Yeah,
so negative attributes to that. It's kind of crazy.
it is.
So you focus a lot on addressing the roots of emotional baggage. How can this be applied to help teens heal from past trauma or negative experiences?
Well, healing begins with awareness. So, journaling allows teens to reflect on their experiences and identify how past events impact their present. So, once they recognize their patterns, they can begin working through them, whether by reframing their thoughts, seeking professional help, or practicing forgiveness. Addressing the root causes prevents emotional wounds from festering and it helps them to build healthier coping mechanisms.
And then aside of being like CEO of your self-care guided journals,
Mhm.
advocate, certified mental health coach, you're also a speaker. So when you're a speaker, what is like a big message that you like to portray to your audience?
I like to tell my audience that first, it's okay to not be okay. They are not alone. They deserve healing. They deserve to have good mental health. They deserve to be happy because a lot of us, I have found a lot of my audience, they don't feel like they're worthy of having a good life, being healthy mentally, emotionally. And so I affirm that, I speak that to them and let them know that and healing is possible. Because if I can get up on stage and tell y'all all my business and all the stuff that I did, then you should know. So I am the example. I'm the poster child for healing. I used to do this and now I'm doing this. So it's possible. Healing is possible. And it doesn't matter who you are, your age, your race, where you come from, your social class. It doesn't matter. It's possible for all of us.
What advice would you give to a teen who is skeptical about journaling or doesn't know where to begin with that, like their healing journey and journaling?
I would say start small and keep it simple. You don't need to write paragraphs, just jot down a few thoughts or feelings. You can use prompts like, what's one thing that made me smile today, or what's been on my mind the most lately. And, approaching journaling as a judgment-free zone. And remember, there's no right or wrong way to do it. And over time, it'll become a habit that feels less intimidating.
I feel like journaling is definitely in the pocket of like self-care in a
Hmm.
way. So in
It
some
is.
self-care is like a subject where it can be both physical and mental health. So
Mhm.
on the topic of mental health and physical health, do you think one is more important than the other, or do you think they're just as important as each other?
They both are equally important, equally. Because if you don't have good mental health, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have good physical health. Because whatever's going on up here and in here is going to manifest in your body, so you're going to start having sickness and joint pain and things like that. So they're both equally as important.
And then I do have one last question for you.
Mhm.
What advice would you give to someone out there that's struggling with their mental health, or just some kind of message that you'd like to leave to our Dress Teen Stress audience?
Absolutely. Anyone who's in the within the sound of my voice or can see me, you are not alone, and your struggles do not define you. Healing takes time, and it's okay to start where you are. Whether it's through journaling, talking to someone you trust, or taking small steps towards self care, know that your mental health matters. Give yourself permission to feel, to grow, and to prioritize your well being because you deserve to thrive.
All right. Thank you so much, Shanti, for talking to us about mental health and your experience with it throughout your professional career, as well as thank you so much for helping us address teen stress.